Okay, we are live and we're going straight back into Dungeons and Dragons. This is now part 6. We've got some unfinished business to try and complete. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump straight in. Now, because it's live, I forgot to turn on my lights, but there you go. Let's get some music started and let's go right back into the journey. Right, so if you all recall, we had recruited Halra. We'd learned a lot more about what was going on, and we're now headed towards the fjord to try and close the last gate. So, I did actually ask ChatGPT to create a summary of the adventure so far, because as I'm sure some of you know, it does have a tendency to forget what's going on after an extended period of time. But if you ask it to do a summary every so often, you can continue the adventure based on the summary itself. Anyway, let's get back into it. So let's continue on to the fjord. So to the. Is that how you spell it? Yes. Let's see what happens. It's thinking about it. The winds scream across the ridgeline. Snow whips your cloak. Below, ritual fires burn blue. The gate is stirring, and so are you. So we begin the descent into Glass Lake Fjord. You begin the slow march down the ghost path, a narrow shelf of frost-cracked stone, winding through steep walls and glacier-cut ravines. Ice creaks beneath your boots. Every step feels like it might echo across worlds. Sarah grips her staff tight. The black-bound tome glows faintly in her satchel. Kaelin whispers, I count 11 cultists, 3 channelers, 1 masked figure not moving, the rest preparing something. The great black shard of ice towers in the center of the lake, runes now flaring with pulses of light, timed to a heartbeat you can't hear but feel. You reach cover near the shore ahead. So you've got the ritual circle, you've got the masked leader, 3 seers, other guards, this is a lot of people by the way, and obsidian veins. So what are we going to do? Ambush from 2 sides, coordinate with Kaelin and Haura, approach on the false pretenses, use cloak, deception, or cult markings, interrupt the ritual directly. Sarah begins counter chants now, wait and observe, learn more before striking, something else. I think we should wait and observe for a while. Let's see what's actually happening before we take action. So what are we going to see? Steel held, breath low, eyes sharp, you don't move, not yet. The story is being written in front of you, and you're going to read every line before you add your own. Observation, the ritual unfolds. You crouch low among the ice-fanged rocks, the fjord whispering below. All is deathly still except the ritual. What do you see? A masked figure, standing motionless at the center of a frost-etched platform before the shard. Long black ropes ripple in the wind. A silver circlet floats just above their hooded head, not worn, hovering. No breath, no sound, almost like a statue, but the ice around their feet is melting, steaming. The 3 seers, they're kneeling in a triangle around the base of the black shard, blood pooling beneath them. They chant in deep speech, each syllable makes your vision blur slightly. Their blood drips into obsidian channels carved into the ice, forming a glyph that pulses every 6 seconds. Every time it pulses, the shard glows brighter. Guard positions. There are 8 of them. 3 watching the ritual, 3 patrolling the edges, 2 on the cliffs above, bowmen in high ground positions. They need to be taken care of. And the shard itself now humming so deeply it makes your teeth ache. You swear it's grown taller since you arrived. So the current ritual stage is... Sarah murmurs, pale and tense. They're at the second phase. When the moon hits zenith tonight, they'll breach into the layer behind the eye. Once that starts, we won't be able to close it. Kalian adds, if we strike before the next pulse, right when it fades, we can break the glyph before it locks. You have time for one decisive move before the ritual's third phase begins. Strike the glyph, target the seers, attack the masked figure, signal Kalian and Halra to flank. Okay, I'm going to go and strike the glyph. All hell's going to break loose, but that's the priority. What do you do, champion? The gate is still closed, but the lock is melting. Okay. We're going to go with 1. I'm sure we're going to have to do some sort of check. You don't wait for orders, you are the storm, and storms don't ask, they break. Tactical strike. The glyph must break. You signal silently to your allies. Kalian shifts into position behind an icy ridge. Halra draws her long sword ready to charge. Sarah steadies her hand over her staff, breathing in rhythm with the shard's pulses. Then you wait. The ritual glyph pulses once, twice, 3 times, and then a lull. At 1 second, when the entire ritual takes a breath, you charge. You dash across the ritual circle, boots crunching snow. The cultists, too stunned to react. The seers shriek. The masked figure's head tilts. The circlet spins faster. You leap directly into the center of the glyph and drive your cold-banded longsword into it. I've got to roll a strength check. To determine if you shatter the glyph before it locks, add your strength modifier. I've forgotten what my strength modifier is, but I'm going to roll the check. So let's see what we get. That's my 20-sided die. Have I got the right one? Yes, I do. Oh dear, I rolled a 2. That's not good. That's not good at all. Your blade crashes down, but the ice resists. A sound like a dying whale echoes through the fjord. The glyph bends, but it does not break. The glyph not destroyed. The DC 13 versus 2 is a fail. The cold-banded longsword slams into the obsidian channel, but instead of cracking it, the blade ricochets, sending a spray of frost and black sparks. The glyph flares bright white, full activation triggered. The chanting seer screams in ecstasy. The masked figure raises a hand and the silver circlet drops silently onto their hooded brow. The fjord itself rumbles. Sarah gasps. We're out of time. They're skipping the bleed lock. They're opening it now. Kalian fires the first arrow. Hala charges, roaring. And you're already in the center of it all. The ritual cannot be stopped without combat. You are now engaged in the heart of the ritual circle. Combat begins. Roll initiative. Roll a d20 and tell me the result. Let's see what happens. 6. Good grief. This is not going well. This is not going well at all. The world is doing something. The world shrinks to pulse and steel. The circle glows beneath your boots. Around you, the veil begins to split, and you tighten your grip. So I rolled a 6. Others act first. Masked figure raises both hands. The air fractures around them like broken glass. A whisper echoes in your mind. It will walk through you, Blade Sister. They do not act yet, but the shard pulses and a thin crack opens in the ice beneath your feet. Something on the other side begins to press forward. Kalian fires 2 arrows at one of the seers, hits both times, good. Both arrows strike, blood spraying across the ice. One seer drops dead. The triangle is broken. Halra charges into a pair of spear-wielding cultists, slams one aside with her shield, drawing fire from you. Sarah begins casting Dispel Magic, targeting the glyph, chanting in Druidic, bracing her staff against the ground. She'll finish casting on your next turn. My turn. You're standing in the center of the ritual circle. One seer remains, the other is wounded, and the shard is cracking. You can attack the seer, strike the glyph again, charge the masked figure at the risk of psychic backlash, use a special action, disarm, shove, or a clever move, something else. I'll do a strength check. I need to remind myself, what is my modifier? What is my modifier for strength check? Because I've forgotten, which is terrible. You were born of something. Of steel and storm. Your strength is not in question, just the aim of your fury. Your strength modifier is +3. Okay. So for your next strength check, roll a d20 and add 3. So and that's dropped on the floor, so I'm going to roll another d20. Angels and ministers of grace defend us. I rolled a 1. I'm not breaking this glyph at all. Words failed. Ice resisted. Now you speak. The only language they understand. Steel and resolve. Alvaran strikes, targeting the seer. Once the ritual seer still kneels, arms raised in blood-drenched worship. The triangle is broken, but if she chants a moment longer, it could reform. You lunge forward, sword flashing with cold light. Roll a d20 to attack. Add 5 for strength. Add 5 for strength is 3, proficiency 2. So I rolled a 12. So does that mean I've rolled 17? It means I rolled 17. Let's see what happens. It's thinking about it. Oh, hold on a minute. It's gone and added the 5. So it would actually be... Yeah, okay. It should be 17, but it's still a hit. The blow lands clean, cutting through the seer's robes, her shoulder, her chant. So I need to roll for damage. Oh no, it's already done that. Oh no, I do need to roll for damage. I need to roll a d8. So let's get ourselves a d8. Let's roll for damage. That's a 1 plus 3, 4 plus 1 cold damage. So I rolled a 1. I think it'll add what it needs to add. The blade strikes true, but not deep. Slightly worrying. Flesh parts, blood spills, but her voice trembles on. So there we go. Damage dealt. Total of 4. With all the modifiers added. The seer stumbles backward, barely alive, blood streaming down her side. Her chant falters but doesn't stop. The triangle is broken but not gone. She glares at you with eyes glazed in frost and whispers, "Too late, it sees you." Behind you, the shard splits and something moves behind the glass. End of round. So we've got 1 dead seer, 1 badly wounded, 1 untouched, masked figure still channeling. Sarah's dispel magic is ready. Halora is dueling 2 cultists. Kaelin is repositioning. The ritual enters collapse risk next round. One wrong moment, and the gate will tear. Do you want to use your bonus action? Move anywhere else in the circle or signal your allies. Let me know, or we proceed to Sarah's counterspell. I'm going to use a bonus action and see if I can dispel someone else. What do we get? You steal your breath not from pain, but from the weight of what's coming. You are not finished yet. Bonus action, second wind. You focus inward, steadying your stance amid the chaos. So I've got to roll a d10. I got a d10 here, I should do. 1, 2, 3. Yep, there's my d10. I've got a 3. So let's put that in. See what happens. Meanwhile, Sarah's turn, counter spell in motion. So her spell has worked. Blood-soaked channels flicker, they vanish in a hiss of the evaporated frost. The runes stutter, one of the seers screams and collapses, eyes bleeding. The shard lets out a groan while, like a whale crying on the ice, the veil holds for now. Once you tell me your second win result, we'll move to the next round. What's my second win action? Right here. So wounded. Sarah just dispelled the ritual circle. Kaelin repositioned to high ground, drawing on the final seer. Halra holding off 2 cultists. 1 wounded. Masked figure still standing in the center, untouched, but energy leaking from their body in silver wisps. The shard hums lower now, but cracks spider out from its core, and from those cracks something is watching. Next move, it's a new round. What will you do? Finish off the seer, attack the final seer before the triangle can reform, charge the masked figure. I'm going to go with 5. Because I'm going to ask Kaelin to target someone. Steel is not always the answer. Sometimes a world needs a command, and you were born to lead in the cold. To assess the battlefield in a heartbeat. Let's see what we can do. Oh, it's moving very slowly. You assess the battlefield in a heartbeat. The glyph is dispelled. 1 seer is barely alive. The third is preparing to restore the ritual. The masked figure hasn't acted, but the veil is cracking. You raise your voice, strong as a war horn. Kaelin, drop the last seer. Halra, break free and flank the leader. Sarah, get ready to bind the shard with roots or runes. We end this before it opens. Tactical effect. Kaelin now gains advantage on her next attack against the final seer. Halra will disengage next turn and engage the masked figure. Sarah prepares a binding ritual, which will begin next round and could stabilize or suppress the shard if completed in 2 rounds. The battlefield shifts with your words. The cultists now realize they are losing. The shard reacts. The crack deepens. Fingers, not made of flesh but of shadowed ice, press lightly against the inside of the glass, and from the masked figure's hood you hear a single whisper. So be it, shard bearer, come then, bleed the sky. Your command succeeds. You still have movement this round if you'd like to join Halra's flank, finish off the wounded seer, position to defend Sarah, move to the shard itself, or hold your ground. One more round until Sarah can bind the gate or it shatters open. I'm going to join Halra's flank. Oops. Wrong thing. There we go. Let's see what comes of that. Where steel clashes loudest, where the frost signs its death song, you go, not to watch, to end it. You move to flank with Haura. Snow and Shadow whip past your cloak as you charge across the ice and slide in. Gotta wait for the rest of it to come up. Into position beside Haura, who's locked in fierce combat with two cultists. One is already bleeding from her blade, and the other turns just in time to see you arrive. The masked figure stands just 10 feet away, arms raised, silver energy curling from their palms, floating an inch above the cracked ground. Their face is still hidden, but the crack in the shard now pulses with your heartbeat. Tactical outcome: you now flank the masked figure and at nearby enemies. Next melee attack against the cultist or the masked figure will gain +2 to hit due to positioning. Sarah's binding ritual begins next round. Kaelin is about to fire on the final seer. So the glyph is disrupted, one seer wounded, one still chanting, shard cracking, silver hands behind the ice, now tapping gently. The masked figure breathes and the air stills. Next round begins. Will you attack the masked figure? Definitely. Definitely. Sarah, I'm sure, can take care of herself. This is what you were forged for, not the ritual, not the runes, the reckoning. You pivot from Halra's side and close the gap to the masked figure. They don't flinch, you don't raise a weapon, but the air bends around their body, a pulse of pressure pushing out in waves. Their voice, flat and inhuman, whispers, "You would wound the herald, then bleed, Alvaran, branded child of dusk and ice." Roll to attack. So I'll do my attack roll. That's a 4. I'm going to add 5 plus 2 for a total of 7. So put that in. Some of these rolls are terrible, by the way. You don't lash out blindly. You fought zealots, beasts, and worse. But this is still waiting to strike. You act not with rage, but with resolve. So rather than swing wildly, you drop into something. A low guard, shield up, watching every twitch of the masked figure's form. You steady your stance beside Haura, calling out, "Not yet. Let it make the first move. Then we break it." You ready in action. If the masked figure attacks, casts, or moves within range, you will strike immediately in response. You gain +2 on your attack class until your next turn. Sarah's ritual begins next round. You are now in position to defend her if needed. Kaelin releases her arrow. It flies true. The last seer falls, thank goodness. The ritual triangle is broken. Halra braces, nodding at your lead. Sarah kneels and presses her hand to the ice. Roots of ice begin crawling toward the shard. Suddenly, the masked figure raises their hand. The air shudders, and then nothing. The shard cracks, but instead of shattering, it breathes. You hear it. All of you hear it. We see you, and behind the ice, a shape begins to push through. End of round. The gate is almost open. The masked figure has yet to fully act. You are poised to strike the moment they do. What breaks next? The ice, or the one who would walk through it? Shall we continue into the next round? Yes, of course. I get the feeling something is about to happen. The shard groans. The ritual. The ritual lies broken, but the eye refuses to blink, and now the herald finally moves. Next round, final gate phase. The masked figure slowly lowers their hand. The floating silver circlet around their head spins violently, then vanishes in a flash of white light. From beneath their robes, a voice now floods outward, many voices layered at once. The lock is broken. The gate accepts the blood. I am what comes before. I am the opening. Then suddenly movement. A figure lunges towards Sarah, arm extended, fingers curled like claws. They begin to cast. Your readied action triggers. Roll your attack. They're after Sarah. Come on. Oh, I've got a 4 again. Right, so it's gonna be 11. You stand between the gate and the world. Let your steel speak louder and louder than prophecy. Let's see what happens. Tense, quite tense. You strike, but the air twists. Your blade passes through their robes, yet finds no flesh, only shadow. That's ominous. I missed. It's 15. I've definitely missed. The moment your blade would have landed, the figure splits like smoke, reappearing a few feet to the side. Their hand is now directly over Sarah's head, fingers splayed, energy bursts outward like liquid glass. Spellcast, Shard Pulse. A cone of warping energy lashes out from the masked figure, targeting Sarah. Direct hit, you in the blast, Halra in range, edge of cone. Take a constitution saving throw. This is not good. Let's see what we get. Another 4. My dice rolls today have not been good. The shard sings, and pain follows. Your bones feel like they've been dipped in star song. Light twists, ice melts inside you. Saving throw failed. You are hit full force by the shard pulse, a conic burst of eye-borne energy. Your mind reels. You see things you were never. Let's get the rest of it. I knew I was going to be hit. You were never meant to. Cities burning beneath oceans of glass, a sky without stars, your own face screaming, but not in your body. I've taken damage. 16 damage. Your skin goes numb. Your thoughts feel not your own for a moment, but you bite down, ground your feet, and refuse to collapse. That's. Sarah takes damage, staggers, but keeps the ritual binding going. Haura shields her face, takes partial damage, growls, enough of this shade magic bastard. Battlefield effects. The shard glows less brightly. Sarah's binding is working. The masked figure is now physically vulnerable, tethered to the gate, unable to vanish again. Final seal will hold if Sarah survives the next round. Your turn, next strike. What do you do? Attack the masked figure again, protect Sarah, command Halra or Kaelin. We can protect Sarah. I'm going to attack the masked figure again. I'm doing it. I know I can take this beast down. I've just got to do it right. If I take damage again, I'm done for. You don't hesitate. Not with the world breaking, not with the eye watching. You raise your blade and charge. Attack the masked figure, tethered, vulnerable. They're no longer phasing or cloaked. Their body is anchored to the bleeding shard. They try to turn, but you're faster. This time your steel will not miss. Roll a d20. I can't believe this. I've rolled a 4. I've rolled another 4. Wow. I'm done for. No, not again. Your blade arcs. I think this is the end. The light flares, but the masked figure twists just barely. The tether holds them in place, but they duck low, robes dragging across ice, one hand still crackling with stardust. They hiss, not in pain but frustration. You are not the end, just a breath before it. Final phase approaches. Sarah is glowing now, face pale, hair floating with raw ritual energy. Halra steps beside you, raising her sword. Kaelin takes aim from above, ready to finish it. The shard groans, but the crack stops spreading. The veil is about to seal if Sarah holds one more round. Halra acts next. She nods to you. Together then. Do you want Halra to strike the masked figure now, protect Sarah with her shield? Grapple or pin the enemy, wait and react to the next move. Your order could decide what's left standing. Choose wisely. Let's protect Sarah. I think that's probably the most important person now. The gate may fall, maybe? Don't know. The gate may fall, the eye may close, but only if she stands long enough to finish the words. You know what must be done. Halra protects Sarah. Without hesitation, Halra pivots and throws herself. Oh, she doesn't die. Between the masked figure and Sarah, raising her shield and lowering her stance. You'll finish the spell, little sister. I'll hold the sky back. She slams her boot into the frozen glyph ring, anchoring herself, becoming a wall of chainmail and fury. Tactical outcomes: Sarah gains +2 to attack class, an advantage on concentration. Halra can intercept the next incoming spell or attack. The masked figure now faces two opponents if they push forward, you and Halra. Sarah begins final binding. She slams her staff into the ground. Ice vines snake out and wrap around the shard. The runes flicker, then begin to collapse inward, like stars being drawn into a black hole. Just a few more seconds. The gate tries to open one last time. The masked figure's body cracks, not with blood, but with light. They raise both hands to the sky. Their final words echo. If I fall into the eye. I become the scream inside it. They prepare to unleash one final blast to either destroy Sarah or break the shard itself. One round remains. You go next. What will you know what to do? Attack, roll, end it. Well, I'm going to attack. Let's see what happens. Your boots crack ice, your breath fogs, the space between you. One heartbeat, one strike, the last one. Alvaran strikes the masked figure, final round. The shard screams. The figure lifts both hands, but too late. You surge forward, blade cold with justice, eyes burning hotter than the gate behind them. Roll a d20 for your attack. Now, please, 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 for the love of all that's good, let me get a good one. 16. Finally. So, let's read the rest of it. This is the strike that ends it, or lets it walk through. Swing true, champion. The world holds its breath. I rolled a 16, so that's not too bad. The eye watches, the shard pulses, but your blade moves faster than either. Okay. It's a hit, clean, direct, and decisive. The masked figure turns to unleash their final cry, but your cold-banded longsword slices across their chest, cutting through robes, bone, and whatever tethered light made up their cursed form. A sound like shattering glass in a cathedral erupts. They don't scream, they collapse. The silver circlet clattering to the ground, then disintegrating into frost. Their last whisper, the eye still sees. Then they're gone. Not dead, just unwritten. Ooh, what was that? The gate collapses. Behind you, Sarah slams her head against the slams her hand to the ice, I beg your pardon. So, and with a crack like thunder, the black crystal implodes, sucked into a single point of light, then silence. The air stills, the pulse ends, you are alone, victorious, and still standing. So, victory. The masked herald is defeated, the ritual's broken, the gate sealed, the party's alive, the eye repelled for now. Shall I prepare a full post-battle summary, including XP loot and what your allies say in the aftermath? Yes. Let's see. And then we'll just finish this session. It was a good session because it was touch and go there. I finally got a good roll. The snow drifts through still air. Your blade rests at your side. The shard is gone, but your reflection in the cracked ice below... What are we going to see? Remains stronger than before. Victory. Shard destroyed. The masked herald defeated. Sarah successfully sealed the rift. And Kaelin is just Kaelin. Apparently. Where's the rest of it? Very, very slow. Are we going to get anything more? We've just got the victory conditions. Not seeing anything. Here we go. Kaelin picked off all remaining seers. Haura shielded Sarah to the last moment. Alvarin delivered the final blow. So we defeated. That's all the XP we've got. Added 412 to my total. We've got the Circlet of the Eye, Cultist Ritual Notes, Sliver of Black Eyes, Tattered Herald Cloak. Sarah's exhausted. If it had opened fully, we wouldn't be here. I couldn't have held it without all of you. She clutches a silver in a rune-bound pouch. Kaelin, wiping blood. That thing wasn't human. I've tracked beasts, necromancers, nothing like that. Next time, we kill it faster. Haura places a hand on your shoulder. You moved when no one else dared. You didn't break. That's what makes you a shield others can trust. Unresolved threads. The eye still exists. The gate is closed, but its attention brushed you. The sealed sliver, Sarah believes it may be a key or a whisper from beyond. Where did the herald go? Not dead, banished, but not forever. The prophecy remains incomplete. One verse was burned by frost. Sarah is working to recover it. 3 days until the next moon. Current time, late evening, day 5. You now control the ritual site. The cult is scattered. The fjord lies silent. We've definitely got to rest and recover before we report to the village. So we're going to do a bit of rest and recover, and then we're going to end things. And then next time we'll do the next chapter. So let's heal up first. I suffered badly in that battle. Snow falls, not as threat, but as cover. The shard is gone, the eye sleeps, and for the first time in days, so can you. Long rest. You and your companions gather around a flickering campfire, its glow casting dancing shadows on the cracked ice. where the ritual once stood. Sarah sets a circle of protective runes. Halra sharpens her blade in silence. Kaelin rests back on her pack, bow against her chest, scanning dark ridge for signs of lingering cultists. You sit quietly, staring out over the frozen fjord. So, all HP restored, hit dice recovered, class features and spell slots refreshed. Sarah completes magical seal over the shard's remains. Halra binds your wound, no lingering injury. Kaelin recovers 2 enchanted arrows from fallen seers. That's useful. Okay. When morning comes, the fjord is quiet, but high above, circling the distant peaks, a shape drifts, large, silent winged. It does not descend yet. So, this is where we're probably going to leave it for now. So, we've completed a very, very big and important battle. And yeah, we've been successful and we're ready to move into the next chapter, which I will be posting probably over the weekend. But for now, for Dungeons and Dragons using ChatGPT, bye bye.